But this might sound harsh, but I would never take advice from somebody who is overweight. Because if your body clearly shows you make poor decisions, baby, you ain't got no business speaking into my life. I don't date men who aren't physically fit because if you would neglect yourself, you will also neglect me. And we ain't doing that. Call it what you want, but I do not believe a woman who is out of shape deserves to be in a relationship. When it comes to love, there are rules one must abide by, and the first one is love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So if you cannot love yourself enough to make sure you are physically fit, emotionally fit, spiritually fit, baby, you are not qualified to love anybody else. Feel how you want.
All right. So if you take offense to anything that woman just said, if it hurts a little bit, that means it's probably true. They say the truth hurts. Um, me being an overweight guy, um, initially seeing this video was a little unprepossessing, as they say. um, but it's also true. I mean, I completely agree with her. Um, what is it going to take for people to start making better choices to better their lives and, ultimately get to a physical state that um, not only that they're satisfied with, but from her point of view, that the world is satisfied with, right? Because what if you do love yourself being overweight? What I could tell you being an overweight guy, no, I'm not satisfied at all. There are other areas and aspects of my life that I've done a hell of a job of, getting those stats higher. Like you ever played 2K, ever played a game where you had to build the character up? Well, certain stats might be higher than others, and you just got to work on certain areas. So, um, for myself personally, I could say that that's definitely an area that needs more work. And videos like this kind of reinforce, why. Because if it hurts, then that means truth lies somewhere in it. And so, what if we brought back public shaming? Like, how much would that inspire people to do better? Not just people that are overweight, but people who might be ultimately a net negative to society. So, for example, people who choose to rob other people, people who choose to harm other people who choose to not go to work and bum off others. You know, if we could shame these individuals, would that force them to be better people? I think so. And a lot of times, like we've been babied as a society, we've been completely babied. Like we've taken public shaming off the table. And I get it. I'm okay with it. On the flip side of that, to play devil's advocate, um, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in God, right? Um, you'll often hear me use that word interchangeably with universe. For me, it's all the same, supreme intelligence. If you believe in it, then you should never, ever, ever underestimate the vehicle that this supreme intelligence can use or utilize to get you a message. Sometimes that's all you need is a message. You might be seeking answers, seeking more wisdom. That could be through conversations that you might walk past and overhear. That could be through lyrics of a song. That could be through words in a poem or article. Anything, man. Like, don't ever underestimate the vehicle that can be utilized. And so, if you think like her, like, hey, good information can't come from people that's overweight, well, you completely limit yourself as far as available information that's out there for you. So, obviously, on my channel, Bitcoin is all I care about. It's all I give a fucking fraction of a fuck about. And so, with that being the case, and me being an overweight guy, I can make an analogy to why like being able to gain weight is actually a good sign. When you look at type 1 diabetics, what do they struggle with? Their bodies struggle with storing organic energy. So they can eat as much as they want and they'll still starve to death. It'll never be enough. And so when your body is storing fat, it's storing organic energy. It's a clever move by the body to store that organic energy that it does not immediately need for later use. And Bitcoin kind of does the same exact thing, right? You sacrifice dollars that you currently have, you store it away for future use, and it keeps it protected. It stores that energy, keeps that energy protected until you need it later on. And that's no excuse for being overweight, even though I kind of drew that analogy, right? um because I definitely got to hold myself accountable. She mentioned that women who are overweight don't even deserve to be in relationships. That's a little extreme, but I get where she's coming from. I mean, what if there was a law that said unless you were physically fit, you cannot date legally? I think there will be a lot of people who died alone in that scenario. But also on the flip side of that, I think there will be a lot of people who will be encouraged to get themselves together. In relationships, we do get comfortable. I had that same conversation with my wife. Like, hey, unfortunately, we're gonna have to make each other uncomfortable. We're gonna have to hold each other more accountable um, for choosing to eat fast food or choosing to eat more than what we need. But it's also a positive sign that our bodies is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You know, I'm putting mad food on the table, providing for mine. Hey, it is what it is. So um, it's not all bad. I'm not one of those super health conscious people that's trying to live for 150 years because I think that's what people want. I think they want to be alive for 150 years. And that's not my goal. I think you can make an impact in this world with 8 years. I've seen 8-year-olds do it. Tupac left a hell of a legacy in just 25 years. So, how much time do you need to make a serious difference in the world to where it really counts for something? Most of us will die unknown and be forgotten, but every single day you can still make a difference. And that one difference that you make could send ripples through the entire universe. Like, I truly believe that. But again, you could take what she's saying to heart, or you can, take it with a grain of salt. I believe that you can get valuable information from anybody. It was Abraham Lincoln who said, I've learned something from every single person that I've ever met in my entire life. But most of the time, I learned what not to do. So, but if you're new to this channel, again, I talk about how you should give your life to Bitcoin, how Bitcoin has given hope to millions and has provided an escape route for the jail that we found ourselves kind of stuck in this US dollar regime. So if you're new to this channel, please like the video, share with a friend who could use this advice or information. And don't forget to subscribe for more content. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.